if you follow me, you know that Candido follows me, and that's pretty awesome because he follows like less than 150 people, so I'm kind of a big deal. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of AM Training. It is 4 o'clock. It is not in the morning. It is actually in the afternoon. I just had work, as you can see my elegant attire. I couldn't train this morning just because my gym opens up at 6 o'clock and I had to be at the work at 6:30. So I'm doing some after work training, and today I have bench press. So bench press as in the slingshot, I believe. You just saw me pretty much bench press and squat. Everything's feeling pretty damn easy, actually. Even the squat, it felt like I could have handled more, so that's a good sign that I wasn't even resting that long, especially since I kind of trained in the afternoon again as well. I really just kind of tried to rush it because not only did my family need me to, be there, but try to rush it as in I didn't want to spend too much time in the hot ass gym because it is almost like, I feel like it's like in the 90s of these days here in San Diego. So I'm pretty much sweating up a storm. You saw me pretty much have a crazy amount of sweat in my armpits. So let's talk about more of my training. I'm pretty excited to see how things go, especially in the next 2 weeks, because I feel like we're starting to go heavier. So 420 for 3 sets of 3 in the squat. Piece of cake. I feel like this is on the right path. So I'm hoping to go ahead and continue to get back my gains. I mean, I've squatted 500 for a double. Let's hope I can eventually get there again. I don't know why I regress so much. Bench press is feeling good. I have noticed a lot of gains on the bench press, and I was telling my client, my online client, Tian. What's up, Tian? He's my boy from Australia. He is a guy that I'm coaching, and I've been telling him to really squeeze with the pinky and really get that bar path. So I've been really studying the bench press lately because, I hate the bench press. I kind of neglect it. So I'm really trying to really study the bench press as much as I do with the squat. For the squat, I feel like I am a squatologist where I'm trying to learn everything I can because I just love it. So I think that's what I need to do with the bench press. So I've been reading a lot with Jen Thompson and Greg Knuckles, and so a lot of times, I kind of went with the kind of vertical bar path before, but now I'm kind of pushing up and really kind of pushing toward my face and trying to get that correct bar path. So a lot of times when you are squatting, when you are bench pressing, people will say kind of push toward your face, but I just read a article where Greg Knuckles actually tells you to kind of push toward your face and then go out to front rather than going out and then toward your face. So I'll put up a picture here to kind of explain. I'm totally taking his stuff. I'm probably gonna get sued by Greg Knuckles himself, but it's all for you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and start to train rather than blabber. So I'll see you in there. Alright guys, so as you can see, I'm in my dadmobile, but that has nothing to do with my training. So let's talk about week 7. Week 7, boom, here is a nice spreadsheet overview of my training. Nothing spectacular. It's just pretty much the week that you kind of that leads up to week 8, which week 8 I'm looking forward to because it's a bunch of heavy singles and followed by AMRAP. So heavy singles and AMRAP, I tend to do well with at least the AMRAP, but heavy singles is gonna be pretty fun. So with week 7, I was a little poquito sick. I was a little sick, and with that, pretty much I always train while I'm sick, and for the most part it's worked out for me, and I feel like I have great training sessions when I go heavier. Someone is looking at me right now wondering if I need help with my car. But yeah, so what was I saying? Yeah, training while sick is sick. I've talked about this in my older videos, and pretty much what some great coaches say is that they kind of theorize that it might be due to kind of all the white blood cells trying to fight off the the cold. But basically, yeah, it's gonna ramp up your central nervous system if you want to get technical and fancy. At least that's what they find anecdotally, and that's what my online clients find as well. Because Tien, if you're watching this, you definitely you're the one who told me that you also had a great training session. It just feels like after warm-up you don't feel like going to the gym, you don't feel like doing nothing. Well, that's a double negative, so you do feel like doing nothing. And yeah, it just feels pretty good after warm-up. So let's talk about real quick Max Aeta and Candido. So with these two wonderful human, or should I call them human beings? No, they're beasts. So for online, Max, on his Instagram, he pretty much said that if you email him with your video, he will go ahead and critique it, and the first 10 will pretty much get a response from him. I was luckily the first 10, and so yeah, I sent him a video, and he said, well, pretty much he said my setup is 10 out of 10. Everything is great with the way I set up. I'm guessing he likes the way that I do a little thumbs up before I do my thing. But yeah, he was specifically saying that how my knees were perfectly aligned with my feet, or at least that's what I hope. But he said his main thing with me was my touch and go reps, which, and I understand where he's coming from, because for the past 11 years I've treated all my deadlifts as singles. Pretty much the last maybe 9 weeks I've pretty much been doing touch and go, or not touch and go so much, but really keeping that tension on. So his whole spiel was that you're training kind of differently than what you would have for 1 rep max. So, and I completely understand that, but I pretty much just said that that's kind of the way that I've been training for the last couple of weeks, because I feel like the time under tension, the tightness, and pretty much the bar path, and is pretty much what I like, and I feel like I'm getting used to that, where I can get myself into a good position, and hopefully that will transfer over. I know it doesn't transfer too well with the 1 rep max, but I'm hoping just the overall training effect and the time under tension will help out. So with that response there, I pretty much got excited. I was like, oh my gosh, this is pretty awesome. I'm gonna post that on Instagram, at least in my stories. So with that got me curious. I posted a question on Instagram with my deadlifts, and I was asking pretty much everyone's opinion. And of course, if you follow me, you know that Candido follows me, and that's pretty awesome because he follows like less than 150 people, so I'm kind of a big deal. But so I answered the question, is touch and go, what are you guys' thoughts on touch and go with deadlifts? And so do you think that it transfers over to 1 rep max well? And so with Candido, he responded to my question, and he said that it doesn't. At least for sumo. For him, he said that conventional, definitely he notices that for him and some other athletes that it pretty much transfers over pretty well with conventional, but with sumo, it's such a technical lift that the 1 rep max doesn't transfer over so well. So with that being said, does that mean I'm going to stop doing touch and go? Or I don't even know if it's touch and go. It's almost like touch, kind of rest, and kind of not rest, but still keep that tension and then explode up. So of course, the stretch reflex, you are going to get a good amount of help from that. I know I'm still getting that stretch reflex, but Yeah, he just says that the carryover to a 1 rep max is just such a technical lift that you have to get the timing right, and the more singles that you do, the more practice you can have. And so, well, I'll go ahead and continue to keep doing touch and go, at least for this training cycle, because I feel like it's just helped me again to that better, tighter position and find what's right. It almost feels like it's as good as my pause deadlifts, which is another freaking variation that I freaking love. So with that being said, make sure you give me a thumbs up. Make sure you like this video, of course. Make sure you go on Instagram, because if Candido follows me, yeah, you should follow me too. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, because my pathetic channel can use it. Leave a comment below if you agree or disagree with touch and go, or if you agree or disagree with the eyebrow overlord himself. Train hard, train smart. Pretty much gym footage, workout, motivational crap, and then break it up with my amazing face here. But yeah, this week is pretty much going ham on the tier 2 exercises, which is great. I'm really loving this program so far. Everything should feel pretty much how it should so far. I mean, pretty much just